Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and the gang is all here. Welcome back, Myra J, and your post-vacation glow. How are you?
I am so chill and doing well, and hope everyone is the same.
Good, good. Hello, Kwyn. How you doing? Glad you put the cat down, and I mean that. How are you?
I'm doing good. How's everybody else doing?
Good.
Good. We're good. And
Good.
Stephen Hill?
I went to the gym twice today, Sybil. I went to the gym twice today. Went to get cardio in the morning and then get myself beat up by my trainer Roger this afternoon. So I'm a little sore. I ain't gonna lie to you, a little sore.
Why?
Yeah,
Why do you
the
need to
gym hits
go?
gym hits differently at 61.
I went by the gym twice, but that's because the chicken place is on the other side.
Myra, how was your birthday?
It was wonderful. Just very, very blessed to have another one. Yes. Thank you for asking.
Good. What did you do on your vacation? Did you do anything? I mean, I know Aruba is one of your favorite places. So did you do something new, different, or
I actually did something I have been talking about for 2 years. I think I sent you guys the picture. I did a flying dress photo shoot,
Fire.
which was just, it was fun. It was freeing. It was just awesome. It was, and before people ask, no, it's not a fan. That's the natural wind of Aruba.
Yeah, I love the
Nice.
breezes there. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah. It was very, very cool, and just something so out of my comfort zone that I would do, But yeah, Marilyn Monroe, I can show you how to blow a dress up, baby.
All right then. Okay. That's not something I would expect to hear from you, but okay. All right. But
It was out of my
a
comfort
new
zone.
year, new you.
It was so out of my comfort zone, but it was
The
so,
blue looks so beautiful too with the background. Like that's such a beautiful blue. Is that considered royal blue? Is that baby blue?
that's they called it teal.
Oh, it's teal.
Teal.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
That
The
was a
teal
beautiful.
blue waters of Aruba. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Hill, you're still in New York?
I am indeed. Sadly, not sadly, only because it's been 2 weeks since I've seen my lovely wife.
Oh.
We're remedying that this Saturday in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you happen to be there, come see her in Gastonia.
Which is Charlotte.
Yeah.
So how's the
Yes.
weather?
In New York, it depends. So 5 minutes ago it was one thing. 5 minutes from now it would be another.
What was it
It's been
5 minutes ago?
so there was a little snow. There was snow yesterday. It's actually just kind of cool. It's just a little cooler than I'd like it here for the middle of March. But the snow here apparently is rain in Southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's headed this way too. So we'll see what happens if we have a show tomorrow night this time. If it won't be like 2 weeks ago, in which we were like 5 minutes into the show, and then it just we lost everything. So hopefully, fingers crossed. We have a special show, so I
Get you a
hope everybody
generator.
will
Get you
join
a
us.
generator. Get you a generator.
Generator money would be good. Yeah. So let's talk
Generator
about the What
money.
You Need to Know newsletter. This is our Monday through Friday newsletter. It's absolutely free. We'd love to have you subscribe. Please go to SybilWilkes.com to be a part of the What You Need to Know news crew. And we cover a number of items and topics and things in the news, including politics and health and wellness, social justice, as well as LGBTQ plus. And that is where young Kwyn Townsend Riley comes in. The transgender care saga continues, this time in West Virginia. It seems like the song is the same. The tune is just different in terms of the state that it's in.
This is a bill that was just passed in West Virginia that's heading to the governor's desk. Fun fact, West Virginia is actually estimated to have more transgender youth per capita than any other state. So lawmakers in West Virginia and other states advocating bans on transgender health care for youth and young adults often characterize gender affirming treatment as medically unproven and a symptom of woke culture. However, every major medical organization, such as the American Medical Association, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the American Psychiatric Association, all have said visibly, literally, verbally that they support and want to endorse and encourage folks and youth with gender affirming care. So the opposing argument isn't really valid, because you have these major medical organizations that are literally putting out proof as to why it is something that should be endorsed. But this bill specifically in West Virginia would outlaw those under 18 from being prescribed hormone therapy and fully reversible medication, and for suspending the physical changes of puberty. This would allow patients and parents time to make future decisions about hormone therapy. It also includes a ban on gender affirming care surgery for minors. This bill, however, it is different than others, is that it contains some exceptions. Some transgender youth will be able to continue receiving medical interventions under certain circumstances. So, for example, if they are specifically diagnosed with gender dysphoria, and gender dysphoria is defined by medical professionals as a severe psychological distress experienced by those whose gender identity differs from the sex assigned at birth. And so if a person that's under the age of 18 gets diagnosed with gender dysphoria by 2 medical or mental health providers, then they can continue with their gender affirming care. But the dosage of that gender affirming care that they will be allowed to continue with will literally be the lowest amount possible to only treat the psychiatric condition, not for purposes of gender alteration. The bill passed through the House by 88 to 10, with all the opposing votes, all the no votes coming from the Democratic Party of the House. And this bill was introduced by the Senate Majority Leader, Tom Takubo. Yeah.
This is also the state represented by Joe Manchin in the United States Senate. Gives you an idea of the kind of politics, but definitely one of those majority Republican states. And as I said, the saga continues. Do you see this? Do you see the next state that's going to be bringing this up for a vote, Kwyn?
I don't know the next state specifically, but I do know that over 55 anti-LGBTQ bills have been introduced to like the state Senate, the floor Senate, like across the nation. They're just coming, and they're coming rapidly. And oftentimes like folks are like copying and pasting the same type of agenda. Right now, it seems as if it's gender affirming care and this drag ban that seems to be sweeping a lot of the nation that we see right now. And we know like with drag, folks think that drag, is appropriate or acceptable or endorsed, when we see Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire. But when we have a drag show, all of a sudden it's like, this is bad for the children. This is bad for the children. And it's just,
and what is it that they call it? They say that they are grooming. That this is a when you have drag shows,
and like that they're grooming children to just be sexualized. They talk about how they're grooming children to be gay, and that there's like this gay agenda. And really, it's not the fact that people are in drag. It's not the fact that folks are, trying to receive care. It's really all rooted like in homophobia and transphobia. It seems as if there's like a specific attack on people if they're gay and if they want to be in a same-sex loving relationship, if folks want to identify of something that's different than cisgendered or heteronormative. And when I say cisgender, that means you identify with your gender identity and the sex that you were assigned at birth. So we're all cisgendered people. But yeah.
And one of the interesting things was last week we talked about the governor of Tennessee who signed this bill denying access to gender affirming care. And then they dug back into his past, and when he was 17 years old, dressed as a female. But that's in the past. That has nothing to do with the man that I am today, kind of thing. But I dare say there are going to be more people like that, and especially as people do their due diligence and look into the past of a number of these fellas. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
One of the other regular columns that we have in the newsletter is our affiliation with the Black and Missing Foundation. And every week we give you a person that they have been looking for, and just to increase their scope there in trying to find someone. And this, normally it's a young person, but this is an older gentleman who's 65 years old. His name is Larry Gene Stewart. He's gone missing from Little Rock, Arkansas, as of December 1st of 2022. Described as a Black male, light complexion, 5'11", And they said that he was last seen at his home on Ludwig Street in Little Rock, and has been in a disarray. Apparently, his home, when they went to do a wellness check, his home was in a disarray, and his phone, his wallet, and his money were left behind. So, trying to track him down, find your phone, that kind of thing. They've been unsuccessful. But if you go, please take a look at his picture in the What You Need to Know newsletter. And if he looks familiar to you, you might have some information. Please go to the Black and Missing Foundation. And that would be awesome in order to give some hope to the families that are affected by this. And you can also see all of the people that they and that they are looking for, and see some success stories, how people have been reunited with their family and friends as a result of putting out the search and expanding the search for people. In the political section, talk about Joe Biden is on the road. He was in California, as well as made a stop in Nevada. And while he was in California, he went to sign an executive order and his effort to increase the fight for gun control. And he went to the dance. They call it a danceria, but it was a club in the Asian American community in which 11 people were killed, 20 people were wounded in the Lunar New Year celebration back in January. And one person had the weapons and killed these people, and was on his way to do damage at another place, and he was stopped by a young man who saved unknown number of lives. He was also there with the president yesterday. But as a part of this new executive order, he's calling on the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, to shore up the rules for federally licensed gun dealers so they know they are required to do background checks as a part of the license. Also, red flag laws, in which the red flag is raised if someone is in possession of a gun who should not be. Whether you're living with someone and you should not have or should be in possession of a weapon. And they are also calling for safer storage of firearms. That's something that definitely needs to be talked about. If you look at the case in Virginia, where a 6-year-old boy got a hold of his mother's firearm, took it to school, and subsequently shot the teacher. No charges have been filed in that case. The authorities say they're not going to charge the 6-year-old boy, but still, children are finding the weapons and finding a way to get a hold of them and take them with them. And so they are looking for a better and safer storage of firearms. Calls for updated report on how bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the gun safety bill that was passed last summer, is being implemented, and also calls on the Federal Trade Commission to make public information on how gun manufacturers are targeting young people in their advertising, making it look like war and the use of weapons in war, in order to make automatic rifles more attractive for them to ask their parents to buy them, or when they become 18, the ability to buy them. So he is still trying. This is another one of those things that he's trying to do as he gets closer to making his announcement of whether he's going to run for re-election or not. All bets seemingly on the president running for re-election. So we shall see. But it's difficult to do many of these things without an executive order to go through the Congress. He had a difficult enough time when he had the House and the Senate on his side. Now we know where the House is, and we know the narrow vote that he has in the Senate. So executive orders are going to have to do until people vote and give the president the support he needs in those in both the U.S. House and the Senate. So.
Let me go straight. So there's no law that says if a 6-year-old takes a gun from the house and shoots somebody, that the parents are liable? There's no law that says that anywhere?
Well, they just said the child is, and apparently it depends on the state that regarding who is responsible for this. Like in Michigan, the teenager that went and shot up his school last year, his parents are liable for this. But as far as the 6 years, I don't think, Steve, that when they made these laws, they conceptualized a 6-year-old taking possession of his mother's weapon and taking it to school. I don't know what the thought process was, but it's not on the books there in
That's
Virginia.
amazing. That
sad
makes
but
no
true.
sense. If you want to really want to make a change, you make the parents responsible for the kids' actions. Kind of not just in that, but in other aspects as well. But definitely when you take a gun out, that means you did not secure the gun the way you're supposed to. That you did not treat the gun like the horrific tool that it is.
Mhm.
You have the right to have it, but you don't have the right to endanger somebody else's
Make it
life for your
available
6-year-old.
to
No, boo.
a big boo registered by Stephen Hill. Another of the stories talking about the EPA limiting toxic forever chemicals in our drinking water. Who thought that we had to be fearful of the chemicals in our drinking water? Well, we should have been if we weren't. And now the Environmental Protection Administrator, Mr. Reagan, is saying that they are going to do something about it and try to bring the PFAS, the chemicals, to the lowest level in which tests can detect. And these are the polyfluorinated substances, and a group of the compounds that are said to be widespread, dangerous, and expensive to remove from our water. And we already have these probably in our systems from birth. So for those of us a bit younger.
How do they get into the water? I'm just curious.
It's definitely from chemicals that you may use in the
It's even to the water table.
From
fertilizers,
water that
etc.
from plants, from chemical plants, and get into our water, and a lot like what they're fighting in Ohio and in Palestine, because they are fearful of what's gone on with this train wreck. But there are a lot of, we've had generations of chemical plants that have been called on the carpet and pointed out as ones that have allowed this water to seep into, allow the chemicals to seep into our water storage and endanger our lives.
Meanwhile, our friends in India are like, we've been trying to tell you this for 30 years. We've been trying to tell you this for 30 years. It's been happening to us for 30 years because of Dow and other folks.
Yeah, amongst others. Yeah. It's come home to roost. So those are some of the things that we talk about in the What You Need to Know newsletter. We hope, as I said, that you will absolutely subscribe and give us an opportunity to inform and empower you every day. And also, we have our wellness check, and it's a really smart, they call it a food smart quiz. And Sheree White has done a really good job. Are you eating for longevity? And it kind of brings to mind some things that we should and should not be doing as far as the food that, and we're talking about the water, but some of the foods that we're putting into our body. So take a look at that. And an interesting little known Black history facts today about Hugh Hefner and civil rights. And if that wasn't incongruous enough, take a look at it. So, and some people are saying, who is this Hugh Hefner you talk about? But take a look at it.
Kwyn, do you know who Hugh Hefner is? Chicago's own. I believe Chicago.
Of course, she knows who he is. She doesn't agree with him, but she knows.
Thank you.
Oh, is that true? Okay, there you go. Okay.
What don't you agree with?
I feel put on the spot.
Oh, you don't agree with being put on the spot. Okay. All right. Well, take a look at the little known Black history fact, and perhaps we can talk about this at some point or another, because I think it would be interesting to hear your take on Hugh Hefner. All right. So here is time for our question of the day. What's really going on? And came as a result of a conversation I was having with our executive producer. And you all are people of words. Kwyn is our poet. Myra J is a woman who is a screenwriter and writes jokes for a living, entertains people. And Stephen Hill is also a man of words and quite a a clever fellow with the word. But what is that one word that you mispronounced? You did not clearly see what the word was until somebody perhaps pointed it out to you. I will tell you that there was a few years ago. I think the first year we were living here in Texas and with the show, and I was talking about a weather system going through a town in Texas called Mexia. And Tom looked at me and goes, Mexia? What's Mex? And it's pronounced Mejia. Also, Yolanda shared with me one of her mispronunciations, and I really hesitate to correct people because I don't want to seem like a know-it-all, and it's kind of like fingers on the chalkboard for me to hear mispronunciations, but I want to be corrected. But people are a little funny acting about about being corrected themselves. So do you all? And Myra, I know that I can't remember what it was, but there was a word that people wanted to tell us was the right version of a word. It wasn't conversate, but it was something. It'll come to me. But Myra, do you have a word?
Well, how long is the show? So many. Is it salmon?
Oh, salmon.
Salmon.
Without no L in the the
People
L is silent.
You mean salmon?
Yeah. Right.
Well, I eat salmon.
I'll eat the salmon or the salmon. But that's a good
But
one.
let me just say to you, Sybil, when you move to, let's say, California or Arizona or Texas, anywhere that has a huge Hispanic influence, and you're not from there, let me tell you something. You're gonna jack up some names. You're gonna jack them up. Cahuenga? Are you kidding me? When I moved there, for people who don't, it's Cahuenga. That's Cahuenga all day long to me. It's
Right.
Cahuenga Street. You mean Cahuenga? No, I mean, look at it. Cahuenga.
What's that look like to you?
It's Cahuenga. Sepulveda, no, that's Sepulveda. Oh, I was messing them all up when I moved.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's easy to do.
And just like when you're from Chicago and people say, "Oh, how long have you been away from Illinois?"
Illinois, and put that S on the
end. Yeah. Stephen Hill or Kwyn, do you have a word?
Yeah, so I was thinking, well, also another Chicago thing. My best friend, she just relocated to Chicago. We went to college together. And she used to always say, yeah, like, I live off of 79th and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. And I said, girl, you mean King Drive? Like, who says his full name? Like, this is not, you're not dating him. Just say by the last drive. We do not need
but she was saying it correctly.
I guess.
That's what it says on the sign.
Yes.
She was giving herself away. I had to pull her.
Well, that's true. Giving herself away is a whole nother thing.
If you really want to get real, it's Martin Luther the King.
Okay, right. But I was thinking of I'm nervous to even say it wrong. Is it gala or gala?
I think it depends on the person.
It all depends.
I've heard it pronounced both ways.
That's right. Might as well.
Yeah.
Well, we had a Black Excellence Gala, and all the students were like, Miss Kwyn, it's gala. And I said, really? Like, I thought it was gala for like the longest. Like, okay, so apparently that's
gala. Let's call the whole thing off.
We don't know. We'll never know.
Stephen Hill.
I've always wondered when they say let's cut tomato, potato, let's call the whole thing off. What's the thing that you are actually calling off? Like just the pronunciation of words, like the choices, like what's the thing that you call off in that song? Does anybody know? If you do, let us know in the comments.
I think you're calling off just pulling your hair out, trying to find some words to end that particular lyric.
So my word is also a proper noun. Sepulveda was one of them. So Sepulveda. It's for those who don't know, in Los Angeles, there's a north-south boulevard that parallels the busiest freeway in the country, the 405, and it's Sepulvada. And everybody who shows up first there says Sepulveda.
Myra's correcting you, Steve.
Oh, I just spelled it wrong.
VEDA.
VEDA. I'm sorry. Sepulveda, but it's Sepulveda. Mine was, and I remember very well. I remember the moment when I was corrected on it. It's Ralph Lauren, not Ralph Lauren. I always used to say Lauren, and it's Ralph Lauren. I remember exactly the person who corrected me and where I was.
Was it Oprah?
It was a lovely woman who was passed called Polly Anthony, who was the president of Epic Records. And she could not have been a kinder person. It makes me smile to think about. It's Ralph Lauren.
Yes.
And then she said something about ethnicity that I can't repeat here. So I was like, oh, I'll never forget. Like I'll never forget. So,
I was
Ralph Lauren.
I was reading a voiceover spot to promote something, and I made the mistake of saying theater, and they were
theater.
Like,
theater. I have a family member that says theater too.
They just stopped me. It's not theater, Myra. It's theater.
Theater.
Like, ain't that what I said?
So working in radio, you hear all kinds of accents and things. And there was a Hispanic jock, and the spot went on the air. And he said, and they have all kinds of bedclothes available for sale, bathrobes, pajamas, house shoes.
Pajamas. I know what pajamas are. That's what you put on your night. You put on your pajamas.
Yolanda shared with me until she married her husband, she didn't realize that it was chest of drawers. It was, in her mind, it was Chester drawers.
Well, Yolanda, we know you're so special when it comes to the voice.
and I, heard someone say chutzpah the other day, and I was like, oh, not chutzpah, but chutzpah. Okay, all right.
But my favorite of all time, gotta be my favorite of all time, and I'm surprised I haven't seen any of them in the comments. Second favorite of all time was nailed by Gail Artist from Facebook, Scrimps.
Oh,
my second favorite. But when I say second favorite, it's like the things make me cringe the most. I'm gonna tell you right now, when I say this word, everybody's gonna cringe. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Valentine's Day. There's the cringe. There it is.
Yeah.
Y'all know y'all are never dating somebody who calls it Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
No.
That's right.
No.
Or somebody who's
my little Valentine. Oh, library.
Library.
That's another good one. Yep, absolutely. Sylvia Crawford on Facebook. He was a male madam.
Wait, what? What I missed? Wait.
She said he was a male madam, and I never heard that he was a male madam.
Is that like a gigolo? No,
a gigolo.
Gigolo.
Christina Fitz on YouTube says, I used to pronounce disheveled. So was it disheveled?
Disheveled?
Disheveled? I wonder what that was. That's a good one, though. I like that.
Ambulance. Thank you very much.
Ambulance.
Ambulance.
No, Myra is, when we used to get in Chicago, it's Bamalamps.
Bamalamps.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
no, I kid you not.
Bamalamps, Buscetty. Somebody posted it already. Irregardless. Remember that?
That was it, Myra. That was it.
Okay.
Yep. We got into the biggest conversation with somebody because we said on the air, there's no such word as irregardless. Right. And they argued us down and told us, well, it is in the dictionary now and it shouldn't be. You're wrong. You're still wrong for that, Webster's. But, we had somebody who was saying hierarchy. Sylvia Crawford on Facebook. Hierarchy.
Yeah, I just don't say it.
Hierarchy.
Janice Wade on Facebook, lettuce. Okay.
Wait,
Janice,
who mispronounces lettuce?
I'm gonna need to know how it was pronounced.
But I used to do a joke about modern names, and people come up, sign my autograph and stuff. And I always tell people, spell your name, because they'll be like Lettuce, and I'm like, lettuce. My name is Lettuce. What's wrong with you? It looks like lettuce. Okay, your mama named you after a vegetable.
or Myra, you also had the one about the little girl named Famale.
Yes, Female, Famale.
That's crazy.
Gail, artist, that is true, and that is a usually depends on where you're from. A route as opposed to a route.
Yes.
And a route is usually what one team does over another team. They routed the team, but a route as opposed to a route, and it depends on what part of the country you're from.
It does.
Because Route 66, that was the song, but everybody else is going, no, that's Route 66. Right. It just really depends, but I agree with you.
And in certain cultures, and I'm going to spell it because I don't want to offend, in certain cultures, there is a name, a proper noun, and it's Shitthead, and it's pronounced Shatheed.
Not shithead.
Shatheed. So if you ever see it, please say Shatheed, okay? You don't want to yell that across the bar,
And who among us has not been called that across a bar? Janice Brown, caramel, gas.
Okay. Some people say
caramel.
Caramel.
Oh, caramel has a different pronunciation, caramel or caramel. Mm-hmm. And I think that too is a geographical change in pronunciations. Upsilon. I hate when people mispronounce that. Randall Andrews, how do they mispronounce it?
I hear
they use it
a lot.
Epsilon.
Epsilon.
I heard Upsilon.
Oh, Upsilon. Okay.
I just heard of oops upside
folks
the head.
aren't familiar with
know
the
that
Greek
word.
alphabet. They'll be like Upsilon and Tau instead of Ta.
Mm-hmm.
Kimberly Jackson off of Facebook is wandered into dangerous territory, taking us on a little bit of a tangent into murky waters where words aren't really words. And she offers up your favorite, conversate.
That is one that we have a conversation about a lot, and that's fingernails on the chalkboard for me there.
That's not
conversate,
a word, though, is it?
Huh?
No, conversate is not a word.
Well, people have made it.
Right.
People have made it a word.
Okay.
We put that up there with irregardless.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Let's have a conversation, or let's converse, or let's just talk. Or talic. I'm not a Gail artist. Oh yeah. The second month of the year.
February.
I just said Black History Month.
February.
I'm gonna jack it up.
Even like president and like precedent. Some people say president just both times. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then okay. CM Williams on that's true. On Facebook, it's mischievous as not mischievous.
3 or 4 syllables. That's the question. 3 or 4 syllables. Which one is it? 3 or 4 syllables. Mischievous or mischievous?
Mischievous is the way I learned it, but mischievous, VIO as opposed to VOU.
I stand corrected.
And bingo was his name.
Oh, Charlie Currents on Facebook. Mama and them.
Mama and them can never be mispronounced. We all know it's a cultural thing. NEM, that means everybody else. Mama and them. Charlie.
Oh, Barbara Ferguson from YouTube.
Good one, Z Walker on Facebook. Sword. The W is silent. Absolutely. It's I don't know why, but it is sword. That's the way they want us to pronounce it. To this day, I still hear folks refer to it as and man, he pulled this sword out on me.
The least favorite, the new least favorite. I'm sorry, Barbara Ferguson from YouTube has it.
What?
Ask and
Oh.
axe.
Axe.
Winner.
Yes.
Ask and
Ask
axe.
as opposed
Can
to
I ask you
drives
something?
me up the.
Can I ask you a question?
I
A question.
conversate regularly with somebody who uses axe, and it drives
Really?
me crazy every single time. Every single time axe comes out as opposed to ask.
Is it a professional person? Did you ask
You
them if
mean
they
like a lady of the night, or
that is
or
in the
a
business
male
world,
madam?
or did you ask them if they're in the business world or not?
Nah, no. They are fully ensconced in a lovely, wonderful professional job, and still use the word axe.
Ursher, Gwen Turner on YouTube. Ursher for usher.
Well, if we get
On the
old
Ursher
school,
board.
the old schools first say mercy. Don't they do that boy mercy? He's what? They do. I'm like, what is mercy?
One of my favorite moments was in the movie Soul Food, and one of the male characters had sex with one of the sisters.
Mm.
And there's a couple sitting in front of us at the time, and he leaned over to his wife, and in one scene they were having sex, and the next scene they were putting their clothes back on and meeting the family, and the man leaned over to his wife and said, "He ain't even wrenched off."
And it went off. You don't know what range is. Don't
He ain't
brand
even
new.
wrenched
Wow,
off.
wow.
Look, somebody posted kilt instead of killed.
Kill.
I have near and dear family members, and I hope they're not listening right now. Puts a T on the end of everything.
Because they're gonna kill you.
Yes, they are, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get cussed out when the show is over.
For sure. All right. Thanks for participating. I appreciate you guys joining in there. And let's move to trending. Happy advanced birthday to your mom, Kwyn, mother of Kwyn and Cameron, and all of the others. I hope she has a happy birthday. Have you purchased your mom's birthday gift yet?
Yes, it will arrive tomorrow morning.
Perfect.
When is
That's
her
the good
birthday?
daughter.
That's
There you go.
When?
That's good.
March 16th.
Okay, very good. Just let me say this. Thank you, everyone, for all the birthday wishes. Kwyn, you're a very good daughter. As I am still waiting for my birthday gifts from my family members. Oh yeah, what you like I change my birthday every year, you know, to keep them guessing or something. My
That's
dear
funny.
friend Gwen had my presents ready on my birthday. Everybody else was like, "Oh yeah, it's coming. It's in the mail." Today is your birthday? Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna get you some. What you want? You know, yeah. So
I accept them anytime. I'm just
that's what
I miss those birthday cards where you open it up and there's a $5 bill, there's a 10 or 20, or I miss those. Don't you guys miss those birthday cards with a little bit of change in it?
Yes, but after I reached my mama used to give me one for every year that I was.
Mm-hmm.
When I reached a certain age, she just went, "Child, you too old. Just here, just take this card and keep it moving."
Or when you get too old, your birthday gift is your Christmas gift and like whatever other holiday. So it's like, don't ask me for nothing for 3 years.
We don't even do birthday gifts anymore. It's I don't know when it ended, sometime around 20 or so, but like, get a card. It did cards and stuff. Texts now.
Okay.
Wow, a text. Yeah, that's a sad statement on times. Myra J, where are you appearing next? You got gigs lined up?
Actually, I don't even know the exact location, but sometime in April, I will be right outside of Macon. That's what the people told me. They said,
the people told you.
Yeah, we right outside of Macon. I'm like, oh, okay, that's where I'm gonna set my GPS. So once I get the details, I will let you guys know.
Okay. And Stephen Hill, you mentioned that the Songbird Shantae is going to be appearing in Gastonia.
Fuse Sessions this Saturday, March 18th at GSM Services Premium Club at Paramount Health Park in Gastonia. Tickets available now. And if you go, come say hello. I'll be there. After
You'll be
not
there.
having seen my wife for 2 weeks.
Will you let her out so that she can go perform?
She may not make it to the stage. I ain't gonna lie to you. She may not make it to the stage.
That's great. That's a wonderful type of love there. Young Kwyn, do you have anything on your calendar? A good stretch. Okay.
You. I am speaking on a panel at the Black College Expo this weekend in Baltimore, Maryland. So that's on Sunday. And then there's a brunch by these college students formed this nonprofit, and they're giving away hygiene products, feminine hygiene products away to youth. And so I'm going to be speaking there on Saturday. And then April 12th, I have a show in DC at Bus Boys and Poets. So all of that's on my Instagram. If you follow me, you'll see pictures of my cat in the upcoming shows. But like,
I love you are into your cat. You were into Oliver Twist. I love that.
He is me.
Because you know at some point in time she's gonna rub. Oliver Twist is gonna rub up against you, and just like in the play, say, "Please, Kwyn, can I have some more?"
You know, I have to play y'all how his meow sounds. He's not real bad.
I'm good.
I love him.
I want to wish good luck to the HBCUs that are playing in postseason play, basketball play, the Texas Southern men's basketball game. They're in the middle. I believe they're at the halftime against Fairleigh Dickinson right now. And then Howard plays Kansas. So good luck there too. Texas Southern had a nice little run last year, and I love to support the HBCUs. And Texas Southern and Fairleigh Dickinson are playing right now. Stephen Hill, you were talking about the weather. It's crazy. It's absolutely the nor'easter.
All the country, so that's just north of here. That didn't dump anything on New York City. It's a little cute little snow that never sticks because whatever in New York City. But north, it got really bad, right?
Yeah, all the way up to Maine and Vermont. A lot of, and they said it was that thick, heavy snow, and that's what led to the power outages. They had like 250,000, at least 250,000 customers without power because that thick, heavy snow just weighed down on the power lines. And now a number of people are still without power. In California, more rain. And it is, and they said Baldwin Hills affected by this, Myra. I was whoa, when they get specific like that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. I have a dear friend I'm going to have to check on.
And they're talking about the mudslides and things as a result because
she's right up
saturation.
Against, yep.
They just can't take any more of the water. So please be careful out there. And it's headed this way. As I mentioned, we had a challenge about 2 Thursdays ago, which we got on the air, and about 5 minutes in, our power, everything went out, internet, electricity went out, and Aprilette was on, and we just had to drop out of the show. So unfortunately, I'm looking at the time for tomorrow, and it could be the same thing. This time, they're expecting a lot of rain and a lot of hail. We get a hell of a lot of hail, and that's ugly. But it's coming.
Everybody, put your car in the carport. Put your car in the carport.
Right.
Garage, carport.
Well,
right. Exactly.
It shouldn't be that bad here, but I know about 2 weeks ago we were breaking records here in Atlanta because it was like 80. It was in the 80s, and the last 2 nights we have frost warnings. I got up to go to physical therapy yesterday morning, and it was 29. And
wow,
29.
Yeah.
So somebody posted that spring and winter were battling for custody right now. It's like, who's gonna rule us? Who's gonna take care of us? Right.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because yes, see.
No, sorry.
You.
No. I was gonna answer. I saw Shirley and Tony Davis from Facebook asking, "Doesn't Cali need water?" And the answer is not anymore.
Right.
So literally, there's an 8 to 10 year drought. Right. There was an 8 to 10 year drought that was challenging Southern California, and literally this year has solved the drought. All the water is where it needs to be, and we're ready to not have any more rain. Literally after 8 to 10 years. So Cali does not need water anymore. They did 4 months ago. Now, nah, please, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Hopefully Colorado River will get some. Have you seen how dry that is? The Colorado River Basin? It is.
No, really?
Yeah. It's really bad. It's really bad.
Has snow been hitting the mountains though? Because it figured that by the spring, if the snow,
and they're wondering if it's enough to help them.
Wow.
Yeah.
They got a lot of snow.
Yeah. Stephen Hill, you have referenced this in your name. A Russian fighter jet struck down a U.S. drone, according to the military, in an unsafe and unprofessional intercept. The Russian fighter jet caused a collision with an Air Force surveillance drone that sent it crashing into the Black Sea. They went on to say, in fact, the unsafe and unprofessional act by the Russians nearly caused both aircraft to crash. At the time, and this, of course, is during the time of the heightened tensions between the U.S. and Russia and what's going on in Ukraine. And these kind of encounters, they say, are dangerous and could lead to miscalculation and unintended escalation. So when they talk about the drone, it's not like what I just sent my nephew for his birthday. It's not. It's a $32 million, 32-foot long plane that is manned or woman by somebody on the ground. No people in the plane, in the drone. But the Russians, they those are some bad dudes. They put oil all over the drone in order to disrupt the machinations of it, and it fell into the Black Sea.
Wow. Oh, that's kind of clever. If you're going to be honest, that's kind of clever. If you're going to be honest, now it's illegal because it's international waters, so you're not supposed to engage in international waters. So, and then by the way, additionally, right? So it's in the Black Sea, closer to Russia. They immediately dispatched ships to the area to try to go digging for digitals, right? Digging for anything they can possibly find from the drone that would assist them. Now, I take you back to when bin Laden was killed. Remember, they destroyed the helicopters.
Everything. Yep.
They destroyed as much as they possibly could because they knew there'd be a reconnaissance mission to get that. That's what the Russians are doing right now, trying to get the drone out of there, finding any technology that they may not be aware of so they can use it against us. Yay.
So did you see that Major Milley said, but we're good because the thing is built that if it goes down, it automatically disconnects us.
Yes, they erase any digital. I mean, it's really anything that can happen with the software linked to the hardware, and so they wipe it as it goes down. That's what they say. That's what they said. So,
how good is it to be Ryan Reynolds? He is an amazing actor, and now as a businessman, he just made a deal with T-Mobile to buy his mobile phone company, Mint Mobile.
Yes.
$1.3 billion
with a B.
No.
Yes.
Mint Mobile, partially owned by actor Ryan Reynolds and his partner. They own a soccer team in Wales. He has a major character in the universe, whatever that is, and he's married to Blake Lively, and he owns a company that and now he's just made a $1 billion in a sale
of the
to
white
T-Mobile.
Jay-Z. He's kind of the white Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He's kind of the white Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I say no because that probably means he won't be doing the commercials anymore. And the commercials he did for his mobile company were some of the funniest commercials and most entertaining commercials of all time. So I'm hoping that T-Mobile bought, the Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
The commercials as well.
I come with the commercials. You just know that, right? Yeah. Did you guys know that Bobby Caldwell died?
Yes. So sad. What you gonna do for love? That's right.
Were you also aware that he's a blue-eyed soul brother? That
I knew that from the beginning.
I know, but Myra today.
No, you didn't. No. You did not. When you first heard "What You Gonna Do for Love," you thought that was a black man. First time.
But true. But so soon after that, because I remember being shocked, like, really? But I mean, while it was still a hit on the radio, like in the beginning, and I'm so surprised that even today people posting, "Did you know?" And I'm like, "You didn't know?"
Yeah.
The song
This
was made in what, 78?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They said that his
Ooh.
first tour was opening for Natalie Cole, and people would see him like, and the audience's discovery that he was a white man, as his soulful vocals suggested otherwise. And he did an interview with Ed Gordon in 2005. He said, "I was on a label that was located in Miami. It was called TK Records, and their base to launch their product was basically an R&B format. So they didn't even want it to be well known that he was white." And today he said, this was in 2005. He did this interview. He's still, very few fans knew that he was a white man.
The irony, of course, is that that's what they did with the Isley Brothers and so many, the Platters and so many black groups in the 60s, is what they did with Tina Marie and Bobby Caldwell and well, it was called the Average White Band. So
and they kind of put that out there.
Right. And Wild Cherry. Wild Cherry didn't have a
play that funky music, white boy. Yep.
They did not have a cover on their album either.
That's right. That's absolutely
their
right.
picture on the cover.
So thank you for that one great song, Mr. Caldwell. I'm assuming that there were others, but that is the one that he was most well known for, and still a really great song, and a great karaoke song, by the way. It's a people's go-to song for karaoke.
Michael Stallworth brings up something. He brings up something, and TK Records, where Bobby Caldwell was, also had Casey and the Sunshine Band and Peter Brown. So their kind of go-to. Their killer app was, we're gonna find white people who sound black.
Right.
Colonel Parker had it right.
He was ahead of his time, wasn't he?
There it is.
Speaking of entertainment, your boy Diddy has unveiled his plans to buy BET. You don't look like you're surprised by that, Stephen Hill.
I am not.
Okay.
I'm not currently in the running. Publicly currently running is Diddy, Tyler Perry, Byron Allen, who you may know from Real People, but is now a media mogul, and a consortium led by Richelieu Dennis, who currently is the owner of Essence Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the people who are up for it now. Look, BET is a unique asset. It is a unique. There's and there will be at least one more suitor for it coming up later. I can't reveal, but at least one more suitor. But I am not surprised.
Can we ask you if you are involved in any of those?
I am not. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even.
Kind of like just whispering.
I have answered a couple calls and answered some questions about it, but I am not involved in any of those groups.
Well, I will say that Diddy has made it known he believes that BET should be Black owned. That's the way he put it today. He said the media is the world's most powerful industry and Black people should control their own narratives and timelines. And he shared this on a podcast, stressed the need for African Americans to scoop up BET from the clutches of Paramount Global. So,
is that what he wrote? He put that in writing?
No, this was on the podcast.
He said that out loud.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It will be Black owned. That I believe. Oh, and by the way, I don't. It will go to a Black entity. That's for sure. That I'm 100%.
Will it go to a Black entity before a Black entity buys an NFL team?
Depends on what happened with the Commanders. Well, the ownership around NFL is a little different. There'll be a lead. I think the lead owner will be Black, but not before BET is sold.
Right. It's now time for us to take a look at today's Yogi's Jewel. Doing the right thing is reciprocal. The universe will allow the right thing to be done unto you. Check that out.
I believe it. I believe it's pronounced reciprocal. But keep going. Never mind. Keep going.
Reciprocity. Yes. So inhale, doing right, and exhale, doing wrong, or wrong. I'm not sure how that is pronounced. Thanks you all so very much.